we do have one of the teams that I think we always expected to be going deep into this tournament, Flamengo, but they go up against VELEZ Sarsfield, who came through one of the all-Argentinian quarterfinals, beating Talleres. Tom, we talked about that first one. We're looking at Palmeiras being heavy favourites. Are we looking at this second semi-final as well in terms of there's a firm favourite, and it would be a shock if we didn't end up with that Palmeiras Flamengo final that I think we've been eyeing from almost the group stages?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? As soon as we saw the way that the sort of knockout phases were lining up, I think everyone with any sense was saying, I mean, that's got a Palmeiras Flamengo final written all over it. So clearly, Vélez are big underdogs in this. I mean, just looking at the difference in quality between the two sides, Vélez a much younger squad. Most of their team here have never got to a level like this, whereas the likes of Gabriel Barbosa, Jorge de Esquerra, David Luiz, Felipe Luiz. They've played at the very top of the game, and this is bread and butter for them. So it should be, I would say, a fairly routine Flamengo victory. But I think, given that the two sides faced off in the group stages last year, I believe there were some pretty good clashes between the two there, and I think that whenever you've got this clash between two different nations, that there's going to be different elements at play here. I mean, Flamengo did look very controlled, very impressive against, albeit relatively limited Corinthian side, but they really did just brush them away. I think Vélez have got a little bit more about them in terms of options going forward. Lucas Janssen is on absolute amazing form. I think that's 7 in 10 in the Libertadores this year. 2 excellent headers in the first leg against Talleres, and they've got maybe a bit more that could trouble the back line of Flamengo, who don't always have too many teams go at them. But defensively, I think it's going to be hard to imagine them putting up another stalwart display like they did against River. So as much as I would love to see Vélez in the final for a bit of a variation, a bit of something different, I think all the money would seem to be on Flamengo, and certainly in the first leg, they are 2.030 to win away at Vélez, whereas Vélez are 3.880 for a home leg win. So definitely the Pinnacle's odds are on a Flamengo victory, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few twists and turns.